Namaste and good morning. It's time for our sunrise meditation. So we're in a very nice, peaceful place. It's very quiet and very conducive to meditation. We're going to be practicing some breathing, some meditation on breath, Gauranga breath meditation, some japa meditation and some Kirtan. So settle back, relax and enjoy this nice meditation sequence. So we're going to just let the shoulders slide down away from the ears. Soften your face. Just let your body melt down towards the floor. You may be lying down, that's fine, or sitting up. Just let your body relax into the cushion or the floor. Bring your awareness to your breath, feeling the breath entering and leaving through the nostrils. Feel the coolness of the breath as it enters the nostrils, the warmth of the breath as it leaves. Feel the expansion of your body on the inhale, the softening, relaxing of the body on the exhale. Just getting into a nice, soft, gentle rhythm. It's like a wave flowing in and out on the seashore. Now we're going to place one hand on our chest and one hand on our belly below the navel. And we're going to breathe into the lower lungs first, then the middle, then the upper lungs. And then on the exhale, it'll be the opposite movement. We're going to empty the top lungs, the middle lungs, and then the lower lungs. So just like a balloon, when you fill the balloon, you fill it from the bottom to the top. When you empty it from the top to the bottom. So as you inhale, you feel the belly expanding, then the ribs, and then the chest. And as you exhale, chest softens, ribs draw in, navel draws in. So the breath becomes like a wave. Nice, relaxing, deep yoga breaths. Just keep your mind on the journey of your breath. Stay present, don't let your mind wander off too far. And take 3 more of these nice, relaxing, complete yoga breaths. And you can relax. Your hands into your lap or down beside you if you're lying on the floor. Just keeping your focus on the breath. And we'll move into some mantra breath meditation or Gauranga breathing. So we're going to add the mantra Gauranga to our breath. The mantra is said in 4 syllables. Gaur, Ra, Ang, Ga. So as we inhale, we're going to say the mantra within the mind, and as we exhale, we're going to say it out loud for the whole length of the exhalation, just drawing it right out for the whole breath. We want to really immerse our mind in this mantra. So that's why as we breathe in, we keep our mind on the mantra mentally, and as we exhale, we say it aloud using our senses, which will help to keep our mind on our practice. So really make it an immersive experience. We need to be really creating a nice inner world, very peaceful inner world, where we go for our meditation. So we're going to take 3 inhales and exhales together. On the 3rd one, as we exhale, we're going to say the mantra in unison together. Gaur, Ra, Ang, Ga. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, saying it mentally. Last one now. Hold the mantra in your mind. Just let it float there. Rest there. Grab your beads now for some japa meditation. If you don't have beads, you can just chant along with us. So we're going to say Hari Bol on the head bead. Then we're going to move to the next bead. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Then we're going to move to the next bead. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Continuing all the way around until we get back to the head bead. So just join in whenever you're ready. Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, 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 Hari Bol. Haribo, Nitai Go, Nitai Go, Haribo. 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 Last one. Haribo, Nitai Go, Nitai Go, Haribo. Just let the mantra resonate there. Moving into our Kirtan now, singing and sacred mantras. I'll sing the mantra through first. Haribo, Nitai Go, Nitai Go, Haribo. And then you respond singing it back to me. I sing it, you sing it, and we share this beautiful treasure known as Kirtan. Just try to keep your mind on the sound. Your mind will wander off, but just don't worry too much. Just keep bringing it back onto the sound whenever it does wander off. Eventually, it will become very attracted to this mantra, and your mind will automatically go onto the mantra without you having to try too hard. Your turn now. Sing it together. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. I'm going to read a quote now from the Bhagavad Gita. This is a little bit about our eternality. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. So when we realize that our true identity is spiritual, we are spiritual beings temporarily residing within these material bodies, it changes our whole outlook on life. It changes where we look for success in life, and it also changes our relationships with others. And it all improves your life. When you have this understanding, your life will be transformed. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.